Yes, we have brand awareness. That's under awareness. Yeah, please keep mentioning the goals. Please mute your mic. I can hear some people's mics. Please mute your mic so that you don't distract us. Reach, correct. 2 more and then we get started. Consideration message, perfect. That is absolutely correct. Consideration has traffic and leads. Okay, I think no need for recap then, because it seems like we all remember everything that we thought yesterday. So welcome to today's class. Yesterday we spoke about Facebook ads. What is Facebook ads? We mentioned that it's a way to reach your audience, right? We also mentioned different ad objectives, which you've already mentioned in the chat. And we spoke about setting up your ad campaign, your ads, your Facebook ads, basically, where I said you need to go to Business Manager, create an account. You must have your Facebook page. And I know that I gave an assessment, not assessment per se, but for people who don't have Facebook accounts or business pages, I said you should go back and create, so that when we start the practical class, we'll be able to be carried along. So today is the part 2 of our theory class. After this class, the next is going to be practical. So please make sure you are getting every bit of word that is said here. So today we're talking about PPC campaign strategy and audiencing. PPC, of course, is Facebook ads. So if I say PPC, I mean, in this context, Facebook ads. So I wouldn't start explaining what strategy is, because from day one of us having any course on SokoSQ, we always talk about strategy, right? Having a plan that would guide your business decision, that will guide your business path. So now the question is, why do you need a PPC strategy, right? Before now, we learned what PPC is, which is pay-per-click, and why you need to start PPC marketing. In this case, the use of Facebook ads to advertise your business, right? So you need a PPC strategy because a successful PPC campaign begins with a strategy. It's just like having your life, and you're like, oh, I am 28 now. At 30, I should have a small business of my own. And at 30, I should have been able to save this particular amount. So how do I save? Meaning I'll go and do research. I'll find the kind of business I want to do. I'll be dedicated every day. I'll make sure I show up, right? That is a strategy. So if you envision a successful campaign, a successful Facebook ad that is converting, right? Meaning you should have a strategy. And by strategy, we're talking about, please mute your mic. And by strategy, we mean what are the steps? What are you doing differently that is not what your competitor, not even competitor, what other people are doing that are not working for them? What would you do to make sure that this campaign converts, right? You need to know and clearly define what you want to accomplish. Yeah, so I have a framework of my own for you to have a PPC strategy, because enough of the talking and this and that. We are going to go straight into class work, right? Please make sure you are writing down, you're taking notes, because this is proper class work. I feel like you guys are students. You guys should feel like you're in a class right now, maybe in university. So if you're ready to develop a more advanced PPC campaign strategy for your business, these 4 steps can help you get a head start. Mind you, this framework is my framework, and that is why it is very important for people to attend these classes. Most things that we say here are not something that we got online. They are practical examples, things that we have personally. So for myself, this is something that I use for all the brands I've worked with. I mean, I've worked with a lot of global brands, and this is what I've used to help. So you can Google GAAP, or sorry, it's supposed to be GAAA. I removed the T, right? You won't see it. It is my own framework. So let's get started. What does the GAAA framework mean? It's supposed to be the T. I changed it to A because it didn't make sense anymore. So the first is goal defining, right? You've heard about goal, goal, goal. Everybody in this life must have a goal, whether you're running the business or you're just living without a goal. You won't advance, you won't grow, right? You are just moving without any direction. It's just like, please mute mic. It's just like a group of cows moving, and there is no like a shepherd, or I don't know what they call those guys that has to lead the cows. The guy knows what he is, where he's taking those cows to, right? Without him leading them, right? They just go astray aimlessly. No direction, no destination, no head start. They are just moving, right? And that is what you would look like without a goal when trying to run a PPC campaign, right? So goal defining. A is audience targeting. The second A is ads creation, and the third A is analyze and optimize. I tried to make it as simple as possible so that we won't have a lot of things that would confuse us. So let's go into goal defining, right? So defining your goal for your Facebook ads, right? If you want to run, so you are set to run your Facebook ads, you have your ads manager, and you click on the create button, and you're like, so where next do I go to from here? The first thing you should be doing is defining your goal. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Thank you. So define your goal, right?
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Please mute your mics once you join me. Network is really bad, so I'm struggling to mute the mics myself. Please mute your mics when really you join.
Thank you. Please, it's very important that they mute their mics. Please help post it on the group as well, because it's really, really affecting me if I'm talking. Thank you. So so defining your goal, defining what you actually want to achieve with PPC is probably the most important part of building an effective campaign strategy, right? When we spoke about content marketing, spoke about digital marketing, even normal business, setting up your business for success, we spoke about having a goal, right? It is very important. You want to run ads and you're like, you just put the ads there. You don't know what you want to achieve. Do you want to make sales? Do you want people to know about your brand? How many sales or how much sales do you even want to make, right? Because all of these questions are what determines the structure of your campaign, right? Defining your goals will help you choose the ad type that are best suited for your marketing needs. So yesterday we already spoke about ad objectives, but now I would be explaining them in 5 groups, right? So for a typical, excuse me, so for a typical business, now regardless of Facebook ads or wherever, right? You either want one of these 5 things. You either want brand awareness, or you want people to consider your brand, or you are a client-facing product, so you want to get people's phone numbers and emails, right? Or you want to make actual sales. You want when there is a click, a sale happens, right? Or you have already made sales, but you want your customers to come back. That is what repeat sales means. So we are going to be discussing each of these in-depthly and letting you know which of these Facebook goals that we have, which of them suits these 5 groups that we have highlighted here. So let's move forward. Brand awareness, you already know you want to reach a lot of people, right? You want to reach 1 million people, 2 million people. Brand awareness is very, very important, right? I don't know if you've taken brand communication. I don't know if you've actually taken brand communication, but if you've not, then we need to, because your brand, the more people know about your brand, the most likely it is for them to buy. Let me give you a typical example. A typical example is, let me not just use a popular brand now. Let me just use, so let's say you as a lady, right? You wanted to get a hair. And then remember somebody saying, oh, there's this store on Instagram, and the name is Hair Caterers or Hair Caterers, whatever it is, right? Like, I bought from them one time, Sha, and that is it, right? That conversation ends. But that name may or may not have stuck in your head, but because the person has mentioned it, you then go on Instagram and immediately you just saw an ad that says the best hair plug for you in Nigeria. You now see the name Hair Caterers, right? They're showing you different hairs and like it's brand awareness. They're not telling you buy, right? They're not showing you different things. That's the second time you're seeing that brand or you're coming in contact with that brand, right? That's immediately, that name is stuck in your head. You have, what they've done is that they've planted their name in your head one way or the other. Number one was through customer like referral, your friend telling you. Second was through one of their ads that you just saw, right? And then tomorrow you want to buy hair, you start thinking, oh my God, there's this hair brand that I've been seeing. I want to go and check, but you can't remember their name. All of a sudden, an ad pops up with the same brand. Maybe they are retargeting you because you looked at their ad, you watched their video, and then they're telling you things like, oh, 10% discount. Immediately, you're going to their page. You might not buy then, right? But if you have the money, you're going to buy, right? That is what brand awareness does for your business. So people are like, oh, what's this of brand awareness? You're spending money and you're not tracking for conversion. The essence of brand awareness is not for your customers to convert, it's for your customers to have seen your potential customers to have seen your brand today, right? And see something that relates to your brand in the next 3 weeks, and immediately they want to buy because they have come in contact with your brand before. There's been a first touch point, likely a second touch point, and at the third touch point, they want to buy. So let's say you want to create a PPC campaign, right? You have written, your first strategy is defining your goal. So what is my goal? Maybe the first thing you want to do is brand awareness, right? You are aware that, okay, I want to achieve brand awareness. I want people to know about my brand, whether they buy or don't buy. What my concern is awareness. What does this help you do? This helps you know that once you go to Facebook on the ads manager, you are either selecting the reach goal or the brand awareness goal, right? Then, so that's that about brand awareness. Then the second one is product and brand consideration. So going back to that hair brand I told you about, right? The first video you saw of them was awareness. They did not tell you buy, right? They did not say anything, or you just saw a lot of videos and you were not convinced. You just saw and passed, right? Then the second ad you saw it, they're not telling you 10% discount. They want you, that 10% discount is, they want you to consider their brand, right? Either they want you to send a message, or they want you to even visit their website, or they want you to do something that shows that, oh, you are interested in this campaign, right? Either like my photo, send me a message, drop a comment, anything that shows that, oh, this customer or this potential audience has shown interest in my brand. That is considered as a product or a brand consideration. So this is best for businesses with products, right? E-commerce. So this is best for businesses with products and sales, and their sales channels as their social media platform, or businesses who want to drive traffic to their websites only, right? So most times, if you don't have a website, like I mentioned, brand consideration objectives would be your last stop to an actual conversion, right? Meaning, if your sales channel is your Instagram or your Facebook or your WhatsApp, that is where all your sales happen. You only make sales when people message you and they pay you via Instagram, right? Then you are probably going to be running a messaging campaign, right? If you have a website and you want people to just visit the website for the first, to just consider, not actually doing purchase on the website, then you're doing traffic, right? You want people to engage with your profile, follow you, right? So that when you even post something, they see it, right? Then you're going to be going for the engagement goal. Say you are a marketer for a software as a service, right? An app, then you're going to definitely go for app install. I hope this makes sense. So now we've spoken about brand awareness, we've spoken about brand consideration or product consideration. The third goal would be leads. So leads generation, right? So what are leads? Leads are people, they are clients, let's start with that, who don't get converted on the instant, like on the go, right? Like I mentioned, if maybe you make hair and you want people, or you're a makeup artist, right? And you want to actually get people to come and do makeup, they cannot convert on the website or on Facebook, right? What you then do is try to get their contact, so that you say, oh, you indicated interest in booking a makeup artist, right? So let me get your so that's why I'm calling you, because you gave me your name and people like, oh yeah, I remember, how much is this? And then you close the sale. That's one way. Another way is if you have probably like real estate, that's the best way, right? So it is usually for service providers or B2B who need clients. B2B is business to business, right? Who need clients, right? So what you're going to now do is guess these customers or audience details, and then you reach out to them after, right? Then sales on PPC, right? This is ideal for websites with pixels and physical store owners, right? So sales actually, so it doesn't mean that sales cannot happen from brand consideration, right? So like I said, if your last conversion channel, is WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, then your sales goal would probably be messaging, right? But if you have a Facebook pixel installed on your website, then your sale goal should definitely be conversion, meaning you are running for conversion. You're telling Facebook that I'm going to pay you when somebody pays on Paystack. Please mute your mic. When someone pays on Paystack or Flutterwave, so far there is a purchase or there's an order confirmation, then that is when I want to pay Facebook, right? Another use case is for store traffic. You have a physical store and you want people around your area. Probably you stay on the island, right? Or maybe you stay at Yaba, Akoka, and you want people in Unilag, you want people who stay around Yaba to locate your store, right? You can run an ad for people in that environment, in that location, and direct them to your store, right? Then repeat sales. Repeat sales is very interesting, right? Like I mentioned, you can target your customers, retarget your customers. So say you sell makeup products and makeup items, or you sell hairs. How do you want your customers to know that you have new arrivals, right? You can now remarket using probably your customers list, right? That is it's an advanced way on Facebook. You can upload your customers' details, their phone number, and then Facebook targets only people that have bought from you, right? You can also do even remarketing ads to people who have sent you messages before, right? So these are repeat sales. So remarketing ads to target customers who have bought from you before. The only way you can achieve this is if you have a pixel, right? That's one way. Another way is if you can upload your customers lists, but it's very very tacky, because for you to be able to upload your customers list and for Facebook to run the ads, you should have at least 10,000 customer lists, right? So this is for big people with big influx of customers, users, blah blah blah. Yeah, so and that's about our goal group. Yeah, the goal group. So does anybody have any questions on what we've just discussed before I move on to the next slide? Questions, because I'm talking about audiencing now, and I don't want anybody to take us back to goals. Okay, I'm assuming we don't have questions because we already discussed this extensively yesterday. So the first thing on your strategy should be defining your goal, meaning what ad goal are you selecting? If you want to make sales, if you want to achieve brand awareness, you need to have that defined so that you are selecting that option on your Facebook ads. Secondly is, who are you targeting, right? Who are you targeting? Now you know what you want these people to do, but these people, who are they? When we had our first digital marketing class, please, again, if you have not done your user persona assessment, that's the first class where we asked you to go and define your target audience, write their name, their age, everything. Please go and do it. Do you know why you do it? Why you should do it? Because it will help you know the right audience to target on Facebook. That's number one. Secondly, at the end of this digital marketing spree, we are going to give certificates to people who have been the most consistent, right? And by consistent, who have attempted all of the assessments we gave out, because that's the only way we can actually say that, oh, these people participated in our class, right? So please, it is very important for you to partake in that. So number two, after you have defined your goal, you are now going to audience targeting. In a PPC strategy, there are 4 groups of audience, right? And these 4 groups, I devised them myself. First is broad audience. So broad audience is when you aim to reach a large audience, often used for brand awareness. So you get as many people to show interest in your brand. So if you're doing a brand awareness campaign, right, except your brand is really, really niched, maybe only for women, right, it always makes sense that you run, you do a broad audience targeting, right? Let it reach as many women as possible, because most times, so how you'll be wondering, how does Facebook get to show my ads to, how do they know that these people have interest in this kind of content, right? So Facebook learns from what you do, right? Or the information you have provided Facebook with. So, but what about in the case where this person does not provide Facebook with this information, right? How can you now get this person's attention? That is by running a brand awareness campaign and having a broad targeting, right? So this way you have your content, right, that clearly states what you are offering, right? Maybe your product is for only women, show it to all the women in Nigeria, right? And then you get them to interact with your content, right? The more they watch your video, the more they visit your page from that brand awareness campaign, that's the more you can even retarget them. You can now say, oh, I want Facebook to now target people that have watched my video, because these people, I do not get them in the interest. So that is where broad audiencing comes into play. Right, please, if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. I'm going to make sure that we all understand what we are taking here, right? So that's broad audience. Then interest-based audience. So interest-based audience is now when you're moving from a brand awareness goal to a maybe consideration goal, lead generation, sales, and all, right? So it is a more narrow audience. You are targeting those who you believe need your products, right? So interest-based is that you know that this person will need this group. Anybody that falls under this group must need my product. And that is where the user persona that you have done in the marketing strategy comes into play, right? So broad audience, very, very broad. Probably you're just targeting only gender and age, no interest. Interest, you put the age, the location, gender, and demographics. So you're targeting people with their behavior, their demographics, and any other and things they have interest in, right? Yeah. Then similar audience. So before I go to similar audience, where can you use interest-based audience, right? You can use this if you're running for messaging, right? If you're running a first-time ad, right, you can use it to just make sure that you are targeting people who have interest in your product, right? Secondly, most times for new accounts, if you've not run ads before, it's always advisable for you to, and you want to do a messaging or a conversion campaign, it's always advisable for you to do interest so that you can get better quality, right, of people who are watching your ad or interacting with your ads. So that's that on interest based. Then we'll move to similar audience. Did you know that you can actually target people who have engaged with your, on your, like, engaged with your competitor's social media? Yes, you can actually do that. And that's where similar audience comes into play. So how can you do this? So remember I said brand awareness, use video. Another secret that I don't know is that a lot of people run brand awareness so that they can get as many people to watch their videos as possible. They have one video, they have 100,000 people watching it because they can retarget those people that have watched it, and they can retarget people that have watched similar videos of their competitors. So let's say you sell hair, right? And you do a video of your hair and 100,000 people watch it. That's one, right? And now another person sells hair, maybe Hair by Ginika, right? Sells hair, and she does a lot of videos and all, and people are watching that video, right? By telling Facebook, you can actually tell Facebook that, okay, this 100,000 people that have watched my video, right? I want you to target people that have similar behaviors to them. So what Facebook will now do is, now they will not analyze the 100,000 people that have watched your video, right? And now get a list of those people's behaviors and match it with people that have watched other hair brands video, right? And use and show them your ad. That is why, personally, that is why when you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram, you go and maybe you go to a random page, someone that sells shoes, right? Or that does makeup or anything at all. You just interact with an ad, or you see an ad basically, and the ad is about hair or shoe. Before you know it, in the next 10 minutes, you're scrolling through Instagram, you are seeing another brand that sells that exact thing. And you're like, I don't understand why people showing me all of these ads. That's because these brands that you are seeing their ads, they have told Facebook to target people like you that are watching other people's brands, right? So it is very easy. In fact, to me, that's the highest, is even the highest converting kind of audience. But the only way you can target similar audience is if you self, you have people who have interacted with your video, right? That is why brand awareness, interest, when you're trying to build your audience, you're trying to build the audience of people who have interacted with your assets. And by assets, I mean people who have watched your video, right? People who have seen your ad, people who have visited your page. If you have a website, people who have visited your website. If you have a conversion campaign, like a conversion event, people who have bought on your website, right? So let's say people, you've had like 100 people make a purchase on your website. You can target people that have made purchases like that on other people's websites. I don't know if that makes sense. Am I communicating? Please drop an emoji if I'm communicating. Oh God, I have some questions here. I didn't get the meaning of pixels. Can you re-explain? Thank you so far. I run an online business. Doesn't mean as an online business I can run a sales ad, since that's targeted with more people that have physical store or pixel. Okay. Okay, let me answer these questions before I go ahead. I'll just be very brief so that I don't make people lose their train of thoughts. So basically, I didn't get the meaning of pixel. Can you explain? So pixel is not something that you install. So pixel it comes with Facebook Ads Manager. Please mute your mic.
Yes.
Thank you. So pixel comes with the Facebook Ads Manager, right? It is a term used for, it's what can identify, it's an identifier for people who have interacted with your ads, right? So what a Facebook pixel does is that it takes notice, like recording, right? Once somebody watches your video, it is stored in the pixel, right? Once somebody visits your website, it is stored in your Facebook pixel, right? Once someone does anything, it is stored there, right? That's on the Facebook Ads Manager itself. So if you now want to be able to track once somebody has come to your website, right? Or you want to be able to track once somebody has paid for a product on your website, you will not take that same pixel and install it on your website, but it is a developer's thing, or it is if your website has provision. I already spoke about it. I don't want to go back to it. I spoke about it yesterday, but that's what pixel is. Second question says, I run an online business. Does it mean as an online business, I can run a sale ad since that's targeted to people that have physical store or pixel? I don't think I understand your question, but let me answer to the best of my knowledge. So yeah, you can, if you run an online business, you can actually run a sales ads. So you can't target, I don't know if your question is, can you target people that have physical stores, or like if can you target customers of people that have physical stores? The only targeting you can do, or the only power that Facebook has is that Facebook can allow you target people who have online behavior, right? So far, this person is a customer of a competitor and has interacted online, then you can definitely target that person. I don't know if that answers your question. Is broad audience just about gender? So broad audience is just basically gender, just so that you're making sure that you're not just throwing your money away, right? So just gender, maybe location and age, right? So without detailed targeting, that interest based is the detailed targeting, where you target people based on their interests, demographics, and their online behaviors, right? Okay, I didn't get the meaning. Okay, yes, the person gets it now. Thank you for getting that. Please, how do I tell Facebook to target people that watch video on my page? Okay, I'll show you how to do that. It's part of what we're going to be discussing here. So let's keep on going with the class. So yeah, so that's about similar audience, being able to target your competitors' audience. Then custom audience, this is where you can now engage with people. You can now target people that have watched your video, right? People that have visited your Facebook page, people that have visited your Instagram. And you know the sweet thing about this thing is that if you sit down to think about your strategy, you can actually communicate with your audience via ads. Let me give you a typical example. So a typical example is, please mute your mic, they're just joining us. A typical example is when I told us yesterday that I once was a marketing manager of a mom and baby care store. It's actually a big, they have 4 physical stores in Lagos, and they have like, excuse me, they're very big on social media. They also have a website where people go to buy, right? So yes, people were coming to the shop, sales were going fine, but we wanted to increase sales on the websites, right? And we noticed that some people will come to the websites. You know that thing that you used to do on Jumia? All of you that used to do it on Jumia, you go to Jumia and put 55 cents in your cart, and then you don't check out, you just leave it on Jumia and you go on with your life, right? We noticed that there were a lot of people, right? So you know that there are a lot of people who had items and products in their carts, right? And they were not checking out. So what did we do? We created some videos targeted to those people, right? So what I now did was that everybody that has put products in their carts, I could target them on Facebook, and I'll show them a creative or a video that says, oh, hi, we noticed that you left an item in your cart. Use this code to check out. I know that a lot of you will be seeing ads like that for products that you have items in the carts, right? So that is what your custom audience can do, like having a custom audience. That's what you can do, right? Being able to target people based on their behavior or interaction with your assets. I don't know if that makes sense. I have one question. Please, how can one target? Okay, it's still based on targeting. Let's keep going. You would understand this. And please, you don't have to get everything here. We're going to have practical classes. I'll show you everything on a live Facebook ads dashboard, right? So this is just for us to be able to set the notes and set the context for us. So yeah, so how do you choose the right group for your interest-based audience, right? So to choose the right target audience, you need to build a list. So you're saying, oh, I want to run interest, but I want to be able to target my interest. How do I do that? So if you use this checklist, just write it somewhere. You write age, location, interest, browsing habits, income brackets, gender, and profession. I think I actually missed one there, but that's fine. So I used a hair brand, for example. Let's say you sell hair, right? I know I use a hair brand because a lot of us here have hair brands and it's easier, right? So once you've listed these things, you now start answering the questions. Age, who are the people that would buy my products? The kind of clothes I sell, would someone of 50 years old wear it? Can someone of 20 years old use these products, right? You start striking out, and when you now get to the age that you say, okay, yes, maybe someone of 20 years can actually use it, someone of 18 years can actually use it, you now write 18 to 40, right? Geographical location, it depends. Do you want everybody in Nigeria to be able to buy your products? Most times, if I'm running ads for online stores, sometimes I used to take out some very far locations in the north, probably like Taraba, because it's always very hard to do logistics there, right? So you just keep it within a couple of states, Lagos, Ibadan, Owerri, all those places. But if you feel you only want to target people in Lagos, maybe like it's only a pickup or something, you just put in only Lagos, Nigeria. Do you understand? So you've answered age, you have answered location, then interest. You now start saying, okay, so someone who would buy my hair, right, would obviously be a lady, right, who is interested in fashion. The person is interested in beauty. The person is probably a working class person, right? That's why you can actually afford my products, right? Entertainment, meaning you are online. So someone who is on social media will definitely see a lot of hairs, and you have once in a while said, oh, I want to buy this hair, right? And the good thing about Facebook is once you write fashion there, it will now give you a list of different things under fashion. So you even see different ideas that you can pick. So all you just need are keywords. You just need the keyword. That is it. You don't need to know the major things. So just keep it fashion, you write beauty, see everything, see working class, see everything there, entertainment, see it. Another hack is that you can even go on Google and say Facebook target audience for a hair brand. You will see some articles there. They will give you hints. Oh, to target, please make sure you add this. And that's where you can add this interest, right? So you write their interest. Second, you talk about browsing habits. I didn't put browsing habits here because sometimes this is just niched. It's probably niched to maybe people, software providers, right? So you're trying to say, oh, people who use Chrome, people, and it's very niche to your product type, basically. That's why I did not put that. So after browsing habits, you'll be looking at income brackets, right? High spenders, online shoppers, frequent travelers, etc. Right? Does that make sense? So why did I say high spenders? Because let's say your hair costs 100K, from 100K, or your cheapest hair is 50,000 naira. If I'm earning 100,000 naira in a month, it might be rare for me to maybe buy a high quality hair from you, right? Or if I'm earning less than 50,000 naira. So you may want to target people who can actually afford your product. So you put in keywords like high spender, online shoppers, frequent travelers, and these online shoppers can actually even come under browsing habits. Someone who always buys things online. Person has used Jumia, person has done a lot of checkouts via Facebook, right? They also target this person because they know that this person is less likely to think your brand is a scam, right? So then gender, of course, this should have come at the top, but you already know who you're targeting. If you sell unisex clothes, then female and male. Then profession. Why is profession? Is because you need to know the kind of life this profession, like you see this profession, browsing habits, income brackets, interest, all of them will come under your detailed targeting, right? You can target someone who is a wife because, of course, you would want, she can show it to her husband and say, oh, I want you to buy this for me, right? Someone who is a mother, women who like fashion, right? Content creator. Why did I say content creator? Maybe someone who does content, likes living life on the outside, right? The person is concerned about how I look, would always want to use different hairs. She does not want only one hair to be on her content, right? So she might actually want to buy from you. Someone who is a banker, right? If a person works in the bank, you should know that this person is always well dressed. Most banker ladies, they're always very smart. Fine hair, fine clothes, fine shoe, fine bag, and they're set, right? CEO, any profession that you feel like they'll be able to also buy your product, then you should actually be including that. I have a question. Texts. Text is very important because I mean, texts, I like buying wigs too. Yeah, so you can also put that someone who is a tech person. Just put tech, you see it there. Can we use this audience for our hashtags probably when we post items on IG? Yes, but there's also a catch to hashtags. You should, so for hashtags, if you're using this interest, you should be very specific. So not even audience. I think your hashtag should be mostly about the service you provide than the audience, because the audience are the ones searching for your product. So if you sell hair, you should be using things like hair in Lagos, hair in Ikorodu, best hair, virgin hair in Lagos, things like that, not the audience. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're not talking about hashtags here. So does this also go with Instagram? Because on Instagram, you only see interest and region. Exactly what I said yesterday. If you're listening, yesterday's class, I said why we are teaching you Facebook ads and not Instagram is because we want you to start running ads from Facebook Ads Manager. Instagram is very limited. People that use Instagram is for people who want to grow their followers, right? That's the best place. If you want to grow your followers, you want to get profile visits, use Instagram. But because on Instagram, you won't get all these things. You search fashion and to just show you only fashion. But if you go on Ads Manager and you type fashion, it will give you a list of different fashion show, fashion designer. You see a lot of things under the fashion. So that's why we always advise that Ads Manager is better than Instagram in terms of targeting. So yeah, and that's the end of selecting your interest. So the hack for you is just write this list and answer the questions. What is the age? What is the location? What are the interests? If you don't know, if you are not sure, because you can't know it all, most times you don't even know what targeting you have on Facebook. Go and search on Instagram. On Google, right? Type it, best ad or best audience targeting on Facebook for put your product, for a clothing brand, for a real estate company. You will see a lot of context there, and then you read through and pick the best that works for you. But just make sure that you are answering these questions. So number one, we spoke about defining your goal. Number two, on audience targeting. Now, before we go into under audience targeting, spoke about four audience groups: broad audience, interest-based audience, which is detailed targeting, similar audience, and custom audience. And then we have explained interest-based audience, right? I have a picture here to show you. So I just want to briefly explain the custom audience. That's how to target people on your page, on your people that have interacted with your video or your website, and then how your demographics and interest looks like. Okay, so you can see this is a screenshot of the ads manager, right? You will see this you see it more when we start the practical class, or when we start the practical course. So you can see here ad demographics, interests, behaviors, etc. It is in this column here that you go and type fashion. If you type fashion, you see the way this drop down is, you can pick, like, there are lots of audience. See this place now says travel. Under that travel, you can see people are frequent travelers, people who travel once a year, people who travel twice a year. That is how detailed you can target your audience, right? And then on this side, right, for custom audiencing, so all of these are your sources. You see website. If you select websites, meaning you're telling Facebook, I want you to target people who have interacted on my website. Customer list, you can upload. Remember I said you can upload people that bought from you, their phone numbers, and Facebook will search for these phone numbers. How many of them are on Facebook or Instagram? Then target them, right? That's if you want them to come back and buy. Maybe you have new arrival, you've had 1,000 people that bought from you before, 10,000 people, and then you want to say, new arrival, we have new products in stock. All you just need to do is go and upload their list on Facebook, or their phone numbers on Facebook, and Facebook will target their lives wherever they are. Then app activity, you want people use your app, you want to retarget them, you can do that. We're not talking about app here. Give me a minute, please. Okay, no, you're not to download ads manager. So ads manager is just like your facebook.com. If you're using your phone, then I think there is an ads manager app, but I wouldn't advise that you use that. So it is always best to use a laptop. But you know what, before our next class, I'll be able to find out how you can actually access ads manager on your phone. So you go to, if you have a Facebook account, that's facebook.com on your phone or your browser, you can log in there. Then to visit ads manager, you're going to be doing business.facebook.com, but that's after you have created your business manager account. We spoke about that yesterday. If you don't know what that is, please go and watch yesterday's class where I spoke about creating a business manager account. So yeah, back to this. So now your sources are websites, offline activity. I think you can even do offline activity. Maybe I've actually not tried this, but I'm sure it will be super interesting. Maybe you can target people who have come to your store physically and just put their phone numbers and put their lists, right? Something like that. So Facebook sources now is video. If you click on video here, what Facebook will do is that they'll list all your Instagram videos or all your Facebook videos, and I'll say you can target people that have watched any particular videos here, right? You can select all of them. You can say, oh, I want to select people who only watched this video, right? Lead form, people who filled your form. Instagram account, people who have interacted with your Instagram account, whether they visited it, whether they liked or they did not like it. So far, they have landed on your Instagram account. You can target them. Do you understand? People who liked, who commented, who engaged, who interacted at any point with your Instagram account. Facebook page, the same thing, right? So there are a lot of things you can do with custom audience, right? Again, for you to be able to do custom audience, mean you should have a lot of audience. Your brand awareness, your traffic campaign, your videos should have been able to gather a lot of audience. You should be able to get a lot of people to interact with your assets. So the next one is, so we are talking about defining your goal, we're talking about audience targeting, and now we talk about ads creation. What about Meta Business Suite? Yes, Meta Business Suite is actually very good as well. I've actually not used it because I have my ads manager, but I have a lot of people using it. There are a lot of things you can do, but it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing. You can, from Meta Business, you can even access it. I think it is linked to your ads manager. Can we select multiple in the Instagram or Facebook? I don't understand this question, but if it's your source, it's for your custom audience, yes, you can have multiple custom audience. So ads creation. So now that you have figured out your audience, then you can move to creating your ads, right? Creating your ads, meaning you're going to upload your products, that's your content, you're going to write your caption. Caption is the primary text. I'll be showing you that when we start the practical class. So I'm just going to be talking about best practices. So if you want to, in coming up with your content, right, you need to make sure that whatever you are doing must offer value to your audience. If you're doing a video, if you're doing an image, make sure you are offering value. Your copy should offer value. If you're selling hair, you're not just telling them, come and buy hair, come and buy affordable hair, right? Make sure that there's something you're offering them. You can say, come and buy, or even give them a discount, 10% discount on hair. You can use copies like, other people sell this hair for 100,000. I'm selling it 80,000 now. Only 2 pieces available, only 3, like different strategies, right? Just make sure that there is something, there is an offer, there is a value you are giving on your ad, right? Make use of videos, right? You can use images, pictures, but most times videos convert better, right? And there's a trick or a hack to video. Make sure your video is short, it is clear, it is straight to the point. Sometimes make it, if it is educational, right? You're selling hair, you're telling them, how do you spot fake hair? Let me teach you. Start your ad with, let me teach you how to spot fake hair. If you touch it like this and you drag it and it does not come back the way this one is coming back, then it's a fake hair. That way you have told them that your hair is original. Abi, the next thing, say, since this original hair I'm holding, you can buy it for 50,000 naira. You can buy it for 60,000 naira. As you can see, it is original. I have only two in stock, but I have only 5 in stock. If you want to buy it, send me a message. Things like that. You are going straight to the point, but you are also educating them, right? If you sell clothes, an educational content can be, you're teaching them how to style, right? You're selling one particular shirt, you go and find 3 different trousers, and you put on your video how to style one shirt with 3 different colors or 3 different trousers. Immediately they're watching 3 different ways that shirts can style, and you say, you are getting this price that you can wear, these clothes that you can wear 3 times at the price of 1. Hurry and buy it now for 5,000 naira. That way you have offered value, right? When I say education, I don't mean you should start writing class or course. I mean, educate them on the essence of your products, on the value of your products. Educate them on why your product stands out from your competitors' products. I don't know if that makes sense. Then finally, in creating your ad, the right audience plus the wrong product / offer is a waste of time. So make sure that your audience, you are speaking to your audience with the right products, right? Make sure you're not targeting a man with wig. Make sure you're not targeting a lady with, because in fact, if you're targeting a man with wig, then your copy should be, gift your partner or gift a loved female or a girl that is special to you this hair, right? So everything should make sure that everything makes sense. Basically, you're using the right messaging for the right audience, the right product. Because if you spend 2 hours, 3 days doing your audience and you have the perfect audience, the moment you give the wrong product to your audience, then you are wasting money, right? So these are like few tips for your ads creation. So before I go ahead, let me look at the questions we have. The last time I ran Facebook ads, I got a lot of likes. Does that mean I can set my custom audience with those that liked my video? Yes, you can. Just try. If Facebook can target your custom audience, it will go. But if your custom audience, if it is too small, they will let you know that, oh, your custom audience is too small. So you probably need to run ads more to be able to target your custom audience. But yeah, so yeah, that's that on ads creation. And so meaning, why is this ad creation here? Meaning, if you're writing your strategy, you should write a strategy on your content, on your creative. What are you offering this audience, right? What would make sense to them? So if I'm doing brand awareness, meaning I should use a short video. That video should be talking about why my brand is better than other brands, right? If I'm doing a conversion campaign, I should do maybe one picture and write 10% discount, or one video and say how to spot an original hair and a fake hair, things like that. That should be the strategy that should be under your ads creation. Can I use Meta Ads Manager app to access? Yes, you can, but you can't use it to create, or you use it to You majorly use it to optimize, like turn off ads, look at what is performing and what is not performing. I've not used Ads Manager to create, but I would confirm. But the best practice is just use your browser, please. Okay. After your ads creation, the last but not the least is analyze and optimize. So now you have created you have defined your goal, you have defined your audience, you have said what strategy you'll be using for content. Now you're going to be writing what is important for you. If you're running a brand awareness campaign, then you should be looking at your maybe cost per impression, your cost per reach, how many people did you reach? I want to reach 2 million people, right? If you're running a conversion, if you're running a consideration, you should be checking your cost per message. How much does it take one person to message? There's one time I ran very recently, I started running a messaging campaign and it was spending like 400 naira or 500 for I'll be 700, sorry, for somebody to message, for one person to message me. I was like, haba, that's too expensive, right? And that was when I now started optimizing, right? Checking maybe my content wasn't good enough. Please mute your mic. So I was checking probably if my content wasn't good enough, or maybe my audience or something, right? Just to make sure that I'm not spending that much. And after a couple of days, I noticed that the thing reduced drastically, I think to about 100 naira per messaging. So you should always be checking your your cost per results. It's very important. If your cost per result is high, that means you're not going to make it. That ad is not going to make it, right? So a typical example again is if your daily ad budget is 1,500 and you're running messaging, you want people to message you, and imagine it takes 700 naira for one person to message you, meaning in a day it's only 2 messages you get and you'll be spending 1,500. That doesn't make sense. That 1,500 should be able to get you at least 10 messages or 15 messages if it is spending at 100 naira per message you get. So it is very important for you to always check your cost per result. Also check your click-through rates. Click-through rates helps you to know how your content is performing. That's if you have like different contents, right? Actually, there's something I did not mention for ad creation. Please always test different creative. Don't assume. Most times you think, this ad is short, is badass, people must buy, and then you do it, and the next thing, only one person is clicking on it, right? So you need to be able to test different creatives, have different videos, right? So that when you now start running this ad, and the good thing is that under one campaign, you can have like 3 different videos or 4 different videos spending the same money, right? Not more than what you are spending. So you now start checking and analyzing and say, okay, these 4 videos, 1 out of the 4 is costing 100 naira for someone to message me, whereas the other ones are costing 700. What does that tell you? That one that's costing 100 naira is the one that is performing more than others. Do you get? So you should go and turn off the rest. I hope you guys understand this. I see many questions. Okay, give me a minute. Let me see. Can I use meta admin? Okay, please. Which one can be used to create? Don't worry. You know what? All of this can we create with this? Don't do anything. We are going to do a practical course, and I'll show you the so that I don't confuse you more. My current fit. Okay, spending 200 naira to get 1 lead. My daily ad budget is 500. Okay, so number 1, your daily ad budget may actually be very lean. One thing you guys should understand is that the more you spend, I don't know how to say this so that it would make sense. So 500 naira, yes, it's an ad budget, but for the first 7 days when you are there's something called the learning phase for Ads Manager, right? Meaning when you run an ad for the next 7 days, Facebook will be trying to optimize to find the best cost per results for you. I mean, for those 7 days, you won't have enough money for Facebook to optimize. But if you start from like 900 naira, right? Depending on your goal, again, your goal determines your daily ad budget. If you're running a conversion campaign, right, then you should be spending probably like 1.5 or more, right? Depending on how much that product costs, right? But if you're doing a leads generation, right, you can use something like 1,000 naira to just test and see how it converts. 200 naira for one lead is not even too bad, right? It can be better, right? What product, and it depends on products, right? Another thing is that what works for Peter might not work for Paul, right? Don't use another person's one to judge, because some products are really hard to sell. I mean, so the harder the product to sell, the higher the cost per result. So if you know that your product is going to be very difficult for you to get leads, like real estate, you cannot be running real estate and using 500 naira daily ad budget. I mean, real estate, for someone to buy one house or property, you should be talking about millions of naira. So you actually have to spend to get that quality lead, because this 500 naira is going to give you low leads, like very, very low leads. Yeah. So and that's like the concept of investing or investments. You should know that by now. Last time I ran ads, I had like 5 messages because I targeted more audience, which was for 1,350. So this is probably still high. 5 messages for 1,350 is still high. What you can do is just go and look at your content. Make sure your content is quality. Please, quality, I cannot shout. Quality content is very, very, very important. Very, very important. Maybe after this our 23 days challenge, you can do another content class for us, how to create videos, how to create quality content using different content creation tools, because your this thing, if your content is bad, your cost per result will be so high. It seems Instagram is fixed for cost per click. Yes, so if you're running only on Instagram, you're only driving traffic, right? And Instagram, you can only monitor your cost per click, ideally. That's why I said Instagram is limited. If you want to get more details, more features, you should be using Ads Manager. Please, how can one budget ads to 500 naira daily? Because one will be saying too low to create. That's even, I think you are running on Instagram, because on Ads Manager you can actually do 500, but if you're doing Instagram, I don't think you can do below 900 or 700. Someone said, please, I don't understand this part you explain. What parts? I'm answering questions. I'm actually answering questions, so you can just look through the comments and see the questions. I'm not explaining anything. Okay, except is this analyzing parts you're talking about. The ads for lead generation. Okay, so the ad is for lead for website development. Okay, so the ad budget is 500 daily and Facebook charges 200 per lead. So if you're doing website development, 200 per lead is actually okay, right? So meaning if you want to get 10 messages, and also gauge the quality of your leads. If these leads coming in, if are they converting, right? If it is converting, then you should not be angry. Imagine you're spending 200 naira and then you are getting someone to pay. I don't know how much it costs for the website development though, but you should also check the quality of these leads. If your leads is quality, if it's a quality lead, then you have the perfect cost per messaging. Meaning what you can now do is that since 200 naira will get you one lead, right? So if you're targeting to get 20 leads, you should be spending like I don't know how much you'll be spending, right? So, and you are trying to say so out of those 20 leads, at least 5 or 10 should convert, and that 10 is going to give you, if I don't know how much it is, right? So but it's going to give you maybe 200k, 300k, then you should be able to spend not less than 30k on your ads. Do you understand? So one thing I used to do then when I was working at, there was one company I was working at, our target sales for the month used to be 30 million naira. So at the beginning of the month, they'll tell us we need to sell 30 million naira this month. And for us to sell 30 million, we are going to invest 10% of 10 to 20% of 10 million of 30 million, meaning we're going to be spending 3 to 6 million naira on ads, right? Because people, they know that it's like ROI. It's like you're spending this to get times 10 of this, but now it's just you trying to target your customers. Do you understand? So look at your end goal and say, okay, how much am I willing to spend to make this money? Do you understand? Yes, please, if you have not run ads, okay, you know what, sorry for people who are feeling lost. People that are asking questions are people that have run ads, right? I'll stop here and let's just continue. Then when we start the practical class, then everybody can follow. Because if you've not run ads before, then you definitely not understand this part. So what I'm trying to say in this part is, if you're writing a strategy, know what results you are expecting. What should I look out for? How do I know if my ad is performing well, right? If I want a sales campaign, that means I should be searching for how much is Facebook collecting from me to send me one person that will ask me message. That is cost per message. You're saying, how relevant is my content? That's your click-through rate. Your cost per click. If you are driving traffic, how much are you willing to pay to get the attention of a member of your audience, right? So this is like what this typically means. Cost per acquisition, this kind of gets how competitive, it's just how much you are paying to get that conversion. So it should not actually stress you so much. Not to worry, when we start the practical class, you will understand. In fact, this is the last phase, right? This whole analyzing, because you must have run your ads and gotten results before you can now start checking for these metrics. Okay, so analyzing and optimizing, what you should, another thing you should do is, if you are now analyzing and you see, oh, my cost per click is high, my results is, I'm not getting good results, what should you do, right? You should now start exploring different ad design, right? Ad copies, especially the headline. What are you saying at the headline? You're saying, get this at 10% discount, best hair in Lagos, something. What's your headline saying? Then a unique value offer. Remember I talked about giving discounts and giving special content, right? You should always have value. So if your ads are performing low, then maybe your offer is not unique enough, right? Ad placements. I mentioned that most times if my product is high, I don't show it on Facebook, because I believe that people on Facebook don't spend money. Does not mean that people there are maybe broke. No, it means that different platforms have different behaviors, right? Someone on Facebook might not pay 50,000 naira for a product, but that same person will come on Instagram and see that ad and pay 50,000 naira. It's just logic, right? So most times if I'm advertising a high spend or like an expensive product, I just remove Facebook and show it only on Instagram. Let the money be spending only on Instagram, right? Then your call to action buttons. I already spoke about call to action in the last class. Be very, very clear on what you want people to do. If you want them to shop, tell them shop now. If you want them to learn more, learn more. If you want them to get an offer, maybe you're telling them 10% discount, do get offer. There are a lot of call to action. So just look through and see the one that suits your ad and suits your business. Please, I don't want us feeling lost though. I feel like some people are feeling lost. Please be patient. If you feel lost, you have to watch the ads and watch the video again, and probably wait for us to do practical. That's if you have not run ads before. What do you suggest to go for this? For in this analysis and optimize? Okay, to optimize for a hair seller. Oh, it's just the same thing. This what I've just listed here works for every brand, right? Look at your ad design or your video, the quality, right? Probably give them a discount. Your discount does not mean you're actually removing money, but you can tell them, let's say your normal hair is 100K. You can tell them other stores sell this hair for 150, but I'm giving you for 100,000 naira. Do you understand? So things like that just make it seem like you are giving them the best value, right? Campaign objectives. So these are just, by the way, things. What you should just be focused on should be the ad design, your caption, which is ad copy, your unique value offer. This is your killer point. This value offer is your killer point. What are you giving them? What is that thing you're offering? Like for us now, if you see our ad, we'll tell you free marketing. If someone should see free like this, they will run. Everybody like free things, right? And especially if it's something that people pay a lot of money for, right? So I'm not saying you should give a product for free, but I'm just saying, what is that thing that would make your audience and it would drive them crazy, right? Sales, I'm having sales up to 20% discount. You will get here that is 80,000, you get it for 40,000 naira from next week. Follow me now, or send me a message and say I'm interested, so that I'll save your number. All those kind of things. Or I'm running sales 20% now, it's off, the sale is ending tomorrow. All those kind of things that is sharp. Those are the kind of things that work, especially if you have like good quality content. Because again, quality content even gives people's perception of your brand. If your content is anyhow, they feel like you're trying to scam them. Your brand is not quality. Your brand is just there, right? So they won't even bother looking at you twice. But if you package your product very well, put it on mannequin, or you wear the hair, do fine makeup, do have a nice background with ring lights, and then you sit like madam and tell them, oh, come and buy this hair. They'll see you and be like, this person is not begging. Do you get? So I think, yeah, this is the end of the strategy. So for it to be able to build, let me recap again. For it to be able to, before you start running your Facebook ads, make sure you have a strategy. And in the strategy, you should define your goal, right? You should identify your audience. You should identify your ads creation, right? What are you offering? What are you saying? What kind of content format are you using? Is it video? Is it image? Is it carousel? Whatever it is. I already spoke about types of ads yesterday, so you can go and check those types, right? So after you have done ads creation, then finally you should now write, what do you want to analyze, right? At the end of this campaign, I want to know how much I'm spending for a message. I want to know how much I should be looking out for, how much it costs for someone to buy on my website. You should be looking out for how many profile visits I've gotten. You should be looking out for, especially messages, how much it costs for somebody to send me a message. So yeah, that is it. You don't say yes, exactly like this free training. Everybody likes free training. So yeah, so I'll go through the comments one more time. I'll answer the ones that I feel like you can understand. If I feel like you can't understand one, then you have to wait for the practical class. Are we going to learn how to create a website? Maybe down the line, not in this class, not in this package, but maybe down the line, we are going to teach us that. What do you suggest? Okay, yes, I already answered this one. Does the practical include website? Okay, this person is actually very interested in website creation. So website creation is something we'll definitely talk about, right? There are different website creation tools right now. If it is really urgent, you can check for some. But if you'd like to wait for our class on it, then please feel free to. Which of the call to action can I adapt when creating ads for brand awareness? Brand awareness does not need any call to action because you don't want them to do anything. Brand awareness is just watch my video, continue watching, right? So you don't need to tell them to watch because they're going to watch. Which of the, okay, so yeah, I think that is it. Please let me know how you are feeling. In real words, how do you feel after this class? Because we are done with this class. Okay, wait, one more thing. I think I have one motivational quote for us. Yes, so I know some of us might be confused and be like, where will I start from? But the secret of getting ahead is just getting started. Just start from somewhere, right? After our practical class, so during our practical class, we'll be forcing you to get started. And once you get started, it just like gets easier for you. And yeah, so how are we feeling? Please express yourself before we close the class. In one word, how do you feel? Happy, satisfied, enlightened, or use an emoji? I'm waiting. Why are you crying? Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Please don't be confused. You can watch this video again. It is available. Someone said, I'm happy, more clarity. So much to take in. Yes, this is a lot and we are giving it for free. So you guys should accept your free gifts. All right. Thank you so much for attending the class. I'm glad we are all satisfied, happy, and enlightened. Over to you, Glory. Is Glory still in the class?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm so sorry. This network is really, it has been training me out like since the beginning of the class. But anyways, thank you very much. I think we spent almost 2 hours here, and then this is a lot, basically. How are you feeling? One word. Wow. But then I learned a whole lot. Thank you so much, Ada, for your time. I know I'm speaking for everybody when we say we learned a whole lot. Um, thank everyone for joining. Thank you for your time. Hope you sleep well this night after all this information. But then we'll continue again next week. Information about our next session or our next meeting will be passed across on the group. And yes, you'll get a replay for the class. Thank you everyone for joining. Good night. Have a lovely evening.